Hello, everybody who is tuning into this episode of Boston and Bubbles. Man, I'm on one. I'm already like ready for this. Probably one of my most favorite episodes because we get to be joined by two amazing human beings who not only are fantastic at what they do, but are also, I'm lucky enough to consider two good friends of mine. So technically, I'm on a call with like three of like my really good friends in the industry. So
How fun is
day
that?
day made. I know a lot of you watching or listening probably already know these two fine young ladies. We have a Chrissy Bridgman from MODPractice, amazing human in the space. She is like RCM guru, one of the smartest people that I know. Probably Chrissy. When you talk to me, sometimes I see the like. I'm the meme with all the numbers going around because you're so smart. And we are also joined by Michelle Hambidge, who is involved with, obviously works with Sunset Technologies, does a lot with women in DSO. One of the most generous human beings that I know in my entire life, and super sweet. And both of you are so supportive of everything. And I thank you guys for being here. Also, who could forget my amazing co-host, Mark Doherty, the one, the only. And so I know we kind of talked about this. We just do stuff. We just do stuff. We talk about stuff. We're here to definitely talk about both of your events that are coming up in October. October. Why am I like? We'll talk about that coming up this fall, and who should go to that and all of that good stuff, and just talk about you guys. So welcome. I don't know, Mark. Do you want? Would you like them to do like an intro? What would you
So
like?
know what, Bubbles? That was a fantastic intro.
It
A
was.
plus plus. That was
Thanks.
awesome. Yeah. So listen, from we know this is the not so serious dental podcast, but we like to know a little bit something about our guests. And certainly, it would be great to know a little bit about Chrissy and hear more a little bit Michelle about what they do. So Chrissy, Bubbles mentioned RCM. RCM, well, as a dentist, what do I need RCM for in my dental practice? How do you guys help? How do you benefit the dental practices?
Yeah, that's the not fun part of, nobody likes to talk about RCM, but we do try to keep it fun. So, I always, if somebody's reaching out to me, it's usually not because their AR is clean and perfect, right? They have a problem. So we really work with groups, especially a lot of emerging groups, to kind of clean up what's happening now, but also dive in and look at why was there an AR problem to begin with, like what process and systems can we implement to prevent that moving forward. And then we talk about growth too, because what we implement today to clean things up right now might not support them in 5 years if they want to double in size. So after we get like everything moving and cleanly, we really work with the groups we support to help them scale and grow and have a pathway on the RCM side for that. So they've got good money flowing in. We like to see, at least a 90%, if not a 95% clean claim rates. We really work hard to get those offices up to that.
And what would you say is the most common issue that you see among dental practices when it comes to claim submissions, reporting? What's the biggest issue?
Gosh, there can be so many different ones. I know a big one that a solo doc will struggle with, and DSO,
Okay.
is just keeping up to date with the latest changes. I remember it was 2 years ago in the summer, we got a denial from Aetna all of a sudden. They wanted length of appointment time and amount of anesthetic use on a scaling and root planning. It was not in anything anyone had ever requested before. They didn't inform anybody. We just get this denial, right?
Yep.
And so it's everybody really struggles sometimes to keep up to date with those changes, and because you have to, and it's not clearly communicated. So that's one of any office size struggles with that.
And what do you normally like to see? What's the span for claims? What do you not like it to see to go beyond? How many days?
Yeah, we like to have everything clean over 60 days or
Yep.
very, very minimal over 60 days. Uh, the makeup can be different. We have a group of offices we support in New York and New Jersey. They're in every local plan on the planet. And those local union payers probably don't pay till 60, 75 days sometimes. So,
Okay.
a realistic mark for those is 90. So we really customize everything. We look at what's happening, what's your payer makeup, what is going to be a good solution and good KPIs for that group or office.
Turnover in dental practices has been an issue, but it seems like it's getting a little bit better. How has that been a problem with you and your practice? Because obviously, people need to be trained the correct way, right, when they're
Right.
doing claims, and mistakes can be made, and if mistakes are made, it throws off the whole claim.
Yep.
What are you guys finding in terms of turnover in dental practices and having to retrain personnel? Is that improved through your perspective?
I think it's about the same. Uh,
Okay,
like over the last year and a half to 2 years. Obviously, it's improved since, right after post COVID. That was a disaster.
good,
But I think it's stabilized in the last like year or so. Uh,
good.
my biggest struggle is people like, oh, I can find someone to hire. I can't find someone fully trained to hire. And that is where the biggest thing is that people are typically asking for a lot of money per hour, but they don't have the skills to deliver on that.
Awesome. Great. Thank you for that information. That's
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
My mind's already gone. I'm like, wow. I know exactly. I understand.
I
So,
didn't say any numbers. I didn't talk about any numbers, Sarah.
not yet.
Idea, just
You
the
haven't started. You haven't started your drink yet, though, either.
I did. I put my seltzer in here. I'm prepped for bubbles.
nice.
Michelle.
Mark.
I have a great story about Michelle.
Oh no.
My first interaction with you. So this was awesome. This was the first time that I was going to be attending the Tech Summit. And I put my registration in, and there was some kind of issue or something, and I emailed you, and my expectation was not even to get an email back, but you replied to me like within 5 minutes, and you were like all over the issue, and it was just like I was like, oh my gosh, like this person is freaking cool, and like I couldn't wait to meet you. And of course, when I met you and talked to you, it was everything I dreamed it would be. But Michelle, just total salt of the earth, such a great person, hard worker, great reputation. As Bubbles noted, with Sunset Technologies, with women in DSO. In fact, I think I've sent you a couple people, to give them information on women in DSO. But Michelle, why don't you tell our audience what you do, what you're all about?
Oh goodness. Well, you did it. You did a great job. Thanks. I need to go any more than that. You were awesome. Can I take you with me wherever I go? Can I just
Let's go.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been with Sunset Technologies for 8 years now, I think. I am their director of communications, and been with, obviously, like you said, women in DSO as well for, goodness, 3 years, I think now. And I love what I do. I love the industry. I love the people that we get to work with like all the time. Not just at my offices and my practices or my locations, but in the industry as a whole. When we go to these events, like it's
I
they're
couldn't
more,
agree more.
yeah, they're more than just people that we work with, right? I mean,
Oh,
that's why
family,
more of us are here.
family.
It is. It's amazing. And as a as an extrovert, and that's surprising, right? As an extrovert and as an expressive, like this is my love language. I love this. I love connecting with people. I love working with people. I love doing all of that. And that's probably where my communication background came from. But yeah, at Sunset Technologies, we are a technology solutions provider. Not only do we do the support for an IT specifically in dental practices, but we do the security behind it as well. Integration is our superpower. We want to make sure that when we have our practices that come to us and they want their things to work, that's all they care about. They just want it to work, and it's that simple. So that's our job. We just make it work. Our idea is uptime, uptime, performance, and security. Those are our three tenets that we really want to focus on, and that our clients want us to focus on. They need to be up in order to do it. We all know that technology these days isn't just a whim anymore. It's not just a, hey, I need it. It's the crux of everything. And if we don't have it, nothing works. So the idea is to keep our practices up as much as possible, have them performing at peak performance, and of course, keeping them secure. So the idea of the DSO Tech Summit came from all of that. We got into the DSO world, and we were like, what do we want to do here? How do we want to make our name, and what do we want to do with that? And Sunset's always been about educating. We're not really a sales company per se, but we do want to educate. We want to let everyone know what's going on out there, what's available to them, not just what's available to them, but also what are the scary things out there that they really need to keep an eye on. And so that's really where it all came from. People don't really necessarily know, I hate to say it, but what Sunset Technologies does. A lot of people are like, I know the name, but like, what do you do? What is it? So that's how it kind of came across, is we wanted people to know what we do and how we can support them and how we can make their day better. The idea is for them to focus on their patients and, let us focus on the technology side of it. Just, rest assured that it can work. So that's really where the DSO Tech Summit came from, is the idea of we wanted to share this information as best possible way that we could. And our audience is just so different. You go to these amazing conferences, you go to ADSO and you go to DICOMA and you go to Women in DSO and you go to all of those things. But, they're so big, which is great because you get to see so many people and you get to see and do so many things. But unfortunately for us, the technology people that work at practices, they don't necessarily like to go and be in those big events and be around all of those people. It's just not comfortable for them. So we wanted to create an environment that was comfortable for them to come learn and be a part of and educate. And hopefully, at some point in time in the future, we can be a part of their organization.
Beautiful. And just how about a little bit on Women in DSO too, your role there and what Women in DSO stands for?
That is my passion project. I absolutely love what we do at Women in DSO. It's how I met Chrissy. It's fantastic. I was so blessed to do that. I work with them part-time, on a part-time basis. We have several full-time employees, and I'm so thankful that we do now. When I started, we didn't have any full-time employees, and I was just kind of supporting where I could and how I could. And it just grew, as you guys know. It's turned into this massive process and adventure for all of us involved. And I unfortunately just can't give as much as I want, so I am part-time, but I do get to be a part of it and still be included in what we do and supporting Women in DSO as a whole and the mission that they have, which is doing exactly this, getting women out in front where they need to be and where they should be and where they deserve to be. There's so many times that I went to conferences before I found out about Women in DSO, and it was all these guys on stage talking about what their team did. And 9 times out of 10, their team was mostly women. And I was like, well, then why aren't the girls up there? Why aren't the women up there talking about what they do? Why not? Why? And it was these guys talking about what their team did. And at least, they were got to give them props because they were giving their team props. Got to do that. But it was like, you know what? Why not? Why aren't they? So to be a part of Women in DSO and the passion that I have for the mission that they have is it's fantastic to be a part of. So
you can tell how passionate you are. It's so awesome. That's what, and again, you're such a great person, Michelle. Thanks for sharing that. Certainly Women in DSO, I've gone to the past, ever since I became aware of it, I've gone the past 2 or 3 years. I love it. I support it. But yeah, thanks for sharing all that information.
And I just want to say, because this adds to Sarah's intro, how I actually met Michelle was it was a different event. They had headshots. She was behind me in line. My hair was like, I don't know, doing something crazy as my hair typically does. And she was like, wait, hold on. Can I fix this for you? And literally had never met this woman before. Came over, put all my hair in the right spot. And then I chatted with her about Women in DSO after that. And the rest is history.
I did. This poor woman had no idea who I was. And there I am putting my hands all over her hair. Like,
it was the kindest thing ever. So anyway, sorry.
One quick story, Michelle, you're going to like the story. So I get home last night after work and I'm walking by my TV and the news is on. And I see 16 billion passwords are compromised, and it catches my attention. And they're saying if you have Facebook passwords, whatever, blah blah blah, you should change them. And I'm thinking 16 billion. I'm like, geez, isn't there only like 7 or 8 billion people in the world? And I say to myself, yeah, you know what? Not a big deal. It's not. Nothing's going to happen to me.
Oh my God!
I go to my computer, and Outlook says your password has been compromised. Please change. And then I saw your post on LinkedIn today. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to bring this up because I'm such a fool.
I was like, no, don't say it doesn't happen to me. No. That's the part of me that I just all this hair on my head just stand up. No, no, no. Yeah, it's scary. It is scary out there. Like nobody is safe anymore. We really are.
Oh, oh
Just,
yeah.
it's
I
just
literally, I literally just got, I'm so sorry. I've been like all over the place because I just got a notification from Southwest that somebody, not myself, booked a flight that leaves in 30 minutes. Can't log into my account right now. They booked it on
Oh
my
my God.
points. Like literally, so I'm so sorry. I've been like, how do I change my password?
Oh,
So this person, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. This person has a connecting flight in what's MSY? What is that? Is that
that's Louisiana. Isn't that
I'm
Louisiana?
just
Isn't that New Orleans? MSY is New
so
Orleans.
so if that individual's watching
perfect
this,
timing.
Yeah.
Marquis Minor, if that's your real name,
At least you got no bubbles.
Go get them, Bubbles. Go get them.
I'm
That's,
mad.
you
If
know,
that person booked a flight though, and you can get them reported in time, somebody's getting arrested in Louisiana.
yeah, they will.
You know, I wonder if that's what happened. That I saw somebody get
Yeah.
arrested on my flight. Oh, someone got arrested off my flight like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like they just like no big fuss. The cops just came on. So
It's
if
the
I could,
thing. Here's the thing about, who cares about my Google account, my Google password? Nobody, well, they can get into my emails. There's nothing there. But it's not your Google password they're worried about. It's so many people reuse their passwords. So they're going to scrub all of those passwords with your name next to it. And they're going to use that on any accounts they can find that has connected to you. And that's how they get into the information they want.
Ugh.
It's not just your Google. It's not just your Facebook. It's people reuse those passwords for all different things. It's scary out there, guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I came with a downer.
It's important. Like it's, yes,
Yeah.
RCM is important. Tech and security, like I would even say it's more important. It's equal or more. It's scary.
It is. It is. It's crazy. But let's talk about optimized playbook. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Like,
Yes.
I'm just hearing about this event. What is going on here?
Yay.
So kind of like Michelle, and I'm so excited that we are promoting each other's events, because we have a lot of the same philosophies. Is I love going to these big events. They're great. Awesome to network, to see people. It's a lot of the same conversations, a lot of the same people on the panels, and you don't get more like one-on-one interaction in a smaller group. You're not getting actionable items to take back to your emerging group or your mid-market and say, hey, look, here's where we can streamline this. Here's what works for other groups. Like you're not getting actionable content at a lot of these events. And so as much as they're great to listen to the panels, they're great for networking, both with vendors, with other people in the industry. I just felt like there was a gap where people could get actual, information they can take back to their group and say, hey, here's one way we could look at this. Here's another way we could look at that. So we designed ours specifically for revenue cycle and ops, because those two departments pretty much go hand in hand. We kind of left the tech people off to the side because, you talk about numbers, they're like, no, I want to talk about the data.
Exactly.
And they are two totally different groups, right? Yeah. And so we just really had an idea to build something with actionable content, curated speakers. We did speaker applications, but we said, we specifically want somebody who has done this, this, and this, and wants to help others do the same thing. And even vendors, we built it so that, and I think Michelle, yours is along the same line too, that we're keeping, the vendor or industry partner ratio to groups, attendees to a minimum.
Yes, absolutely. Are you finding it's hard to do sometimes?
Yeah, it can be. It can be for sure.
It's so important, isn't it? I mean, to me, at least, and I'm sure it's the same way with you, we work really hard to keep ours at a 2-to-1. So for every 2 DSO or practice level location people that are there, only 1 industry partner or a sponsor can be there. So if we have 50 attendee DSOs or practice levels, we'll have 25 that are, industry partner or partners in that respect, just because, especially with a smaller event, and I know, Chrissy, you guys were mentioning this for Optimize, we intentionally keep it small. on purpose. Like that is what we do. We're intentionally intimate. As I was mentioning earlier in the show, at least for us, the technical people, they don't want to go to those big things. It's just, it scares them, I guess. I don't know. Just too many people, too much to do, not content they want. So we're like, okay, let's make it easy. Let's make it small. Let's make it easy to have conversations, to build those relationships, to have those deeper level discussions. But in order to do that, you have to be very careful. Chrissy, tell me if I'm accurate here. You have to be very careful at not overwhelming them with having as many industry partner or partners there as you do the DSOs or the practice levels. Yes.
No, 100%. Like when I say curated, like if someone reached out to me as a vendor wanting to exhibit that did not have a product or service that I believed in, or didn't have other people using it that loved it, I would say this event is not a good fit for you. We would actually turn someone away to be an exhibitor or sponsor if we didn't feel like they were a good solution for some of the attendees that we would have. So we really wanted to curate these people looking for these types of content and these type of vendors to support that content and build something that all connected, like you're doing too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So where and when?
Is yours first, Christy? I think mine starts Wednesday night.
Yours starts a day earlier.
Okay, so we start with our welcome reception on Wednesday, September 17th in Nashville. That's our welcome reception that evening. Wednesday, September 17th. We have a full day on Thursday, the 18th. Thursday the 18th, and then a half day on Friday the 19th.
Okay.
And their starts.
Ours starts Thursday with a couple sessions in the afternoon, and then a rooftop welcome reception where you can see the arch. So yay, St. Louis. So 2 Midwestern events. And then we have a full day on Friday, and ours ends, we wanted to build our networking to be casual but interactive too. So with everyone going to see a Cardinals game a few blocks away.
And
how fun!
Some popcorn, some hot dogs, just chill, watch a game, chit chat, that thing. So ours is Thursday afternoon through end of the day Friday, with everybody leaving Saturday morning.
Awesome. And we'll be having sponsors, exhibitors. Yes.
Yeah, for both of us. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think Optimize is very similar to the way DSO Tech structures ours. Is our partners and industry partners are in the same room as our event. So we, again, part of that whole intentionally intimate thing, we don't have regular tables in our room. We have highboy tables for the partners to put some of their things, have some of their retractable signs and their branding, but we want them to sit in the audience with our attendees so that they can continue to have those conversations in the moment, rather than having to hold that thought or forget that thought or whatever. Let's have it right there and then. So it's that opportunity to continue cultivating those relationships.
And so what's limit on number of attendees? What are we looking at here?
For DSO Tech Summit, we have about 75 is what we're looking at.
Wow.
We're trying to keep it about there. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, we're exactly the same. That was our goal, was 75 attendees from offices, DSO groups, and limit it to 25 vendor industry partners. So.
And is the speaker list set?
So, DSO Tech Summit speaker set is not set yet.
Okay.
We do have a theme this year, like we do each and every year. So our theme this year is AI, but we do things a little bit differently, as always. Everyone's talking about AI, but at the Tech Summit, we're really talking specifically on leadership, accountability, and patient-centric innovation. So we want to get down into the nitty-gritty. We want to talk about, who's responsible when it comes to AI. Is that is it the practice? Is it the vendor providing it? Is it the DSO corporate? Who's responsible when it comes to that? Who's going to lead that? And also in terms of at the practice level, who's leading that charge? But trying to do it all without losing that human touch is really, really important, especially at the practice level. That's what they do. They deal with people all day, every day. So while DSOs and the corporates maybe want to insert AI to be able to get things operationally quicker, move things more efficiently, make better numbers, all of those things. The practice wants to make sure they don't lose that human touch. So at our conferences, we're trying to figure out a way to keep both of those at the same time. So while we are talking AI, we're talking accountability, we're talking ethics, we're talking patient-centric and leadership. So that's what we're focusing on this year.
And can we get a glimpse of maybe which AI companies might be there or speaking? Or
we do have a couple on our side. Let me tell you, we have those who have confirmed already. We have Dental Exchange, Soda, Vine, TrueLark, Vidya Health, Planet DDS, Weave, and we have a new company coming in called SuperDial.
SuperDial, okay. I haven't heard of them before.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's great. Very obviously reputable companies in the dental business. And do we have a entertainment portion?
Oh, at TSO Tech, of course, of course. So Mark, as you know, and you better be bringing your gear. I want to see it on you.
What gear?
We're in Nashville, right? We're in Nashville. We have a great time in Nashville. Everyone always goes down to Lower Broad. We have it at the Margaritaville right there, right in downtown, right off of Lower Broad. So as soon as we have a full dinner, we have a reception on Wednesday when we come in, but on Thursday after a full day of events, we do have a reception and a dinner with some live music at the event. But because we're at Margaritaville, we always have an island night theme. So it's a theme for island wear, for fun. We have lays, we have flip flops going on. We have island wear. It's so much fun. We have a great time. We don't want to be stuffy. Like everybody has, and trust me, when everyone dresses up and they do these great evening events and everyone's dressed to the nines, people look sharp. I got to tell you. I want to be barefoot and something like, festive with that's calling. The islands are calling me. The sun's calling me. I am solar powered. So anytime I can get out in the sun, like that's me. So our entertainment that night, we're going to have some live music with our reception, our dinner. And then of course, Lower Broad has its own entertainment. So we can't take that away from people.
Yeah, it's I'll tell you guys, it's a fun party with that reception. You guys do a fantastic job. Good music, great drinks.
Great drinks.
Last year, I recall we had a drone taking pictures of us. Correct?
Yes.
That was cool.
It was great. Those pictures are on the website too, by the way. If anybody is reading this or watching, listening, I was there last year. You guys can go on the DSO Tech Summit website and you can see the pictures from the drone from last year. Lots of fun.
And Chrissy, on your end now, so is MODPractice responsible for any speakers on your side? What does that look like?
That's a good question. Ideally, I'm only going to speak if I have to. No, that's not true. There is one like revenue cycle workshop that my name is on, but I would be very happy to give that up to somebody else. I love doing it, but I also know I'll be a little busy. We have 90% of our speaker schedule set. If I look in my email now, I'm sure my director of partnerships is in there emailing people for their titles of their workshops and their headshots still. So she's chasing them down for that before we can actually update everything. But the actual list is pretty set and the topics are set.
Yeah. And it's pretty amazing because I don't know. Sorry, now I'm back.
Thank you.
I'll
yell at you later for this.
I do want the Southwest update though. I'm invested now.
They called me because I'm like trying to frantically change my password, but I can't. So my account was held. So they called me. They're like, we have already flagged it. Don't worry. So they were very, very nice. But they asked me actually, oh my gosh, Michelle, you probably could kill me for this. They were like, okay, we need a word. So like, just what's a word in case that you like call and like a safe word almost. And I'm moving, right? I don't have a ton of stuff, but I have this tarot card right here that has a word on it, which I was about to tell all of you guys, but that's not very cybersecurity-ish. But I will show the card. It's like a pretty little gold angel, but it's not even an easy word. Like, I don't even know what the hell this word means, but I told this lady we had to spell it together. And I'm like, that's my safe word.
Nobody's going to guess that word. You are solid.
Nope. not
love
at
that.
all.
Just make sure you
So-
put that card in your back pocket as you go to move.
Yeah, don't lose that card in the move, Sarah. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's coming with me. You know how this was given to me? There's a speakeasy here in Tampa, and it was so cool. It didn't last very long, but they made me a drink, and this was like part of the garnish in the drink. And I love tarot cards and that kind of shit. So I'm like, I'm keeping that bad boy.
Absolutely.
So, speakeasy in Tampa, but most of us know you're not going to be in Tampa for much longer.
No.
In fact, you're going to be moving off to Utah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if on this this podcast today you're going to be in Utah, or you're still going to be in Florida. I didn't know what your background was going to be, and I was very interested to see what. So let me ask you: moving forward, once you move to Utah, am I going to expect the same background? Is it going to be different? How am I going to adjust to that if it's different?
This is a huge point of anxiety for me. I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought this up because every time I get on a call, people are like, "Oh my god, I love your background." I'm like, "But it's gonna change, and I don't know what to. I don't even know if I'm gonna have plans. I don't even know if these guys are coming with me. These are all tropical.
This is real life.
Tropical Utah.
But they're
The
inside.
circles.
They're inside. They're fine. They're good.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Now, are there many mountains where you're going to be moving? Are there mountains near you?
Oh my, yes. I love the fall. I've lived in Connecticut for kindergarten through 8th grade. I've always wanted to go back to, well, obviously I wanted to go back to New England. Clearly that's not where I'm starting my journey. But I just can't believe I get to walk out of my balcony and sit on my balcony and see it snow and see like the fall. Like I think this is the first time I've said that out loud without like
Wow.
listening because I'm so excited.
That's going to be so, I can't wait to see all the pictures. I can't, it's going to be beautiful.
And the
Wow, don't
mountains
worry,
are
just-
so close. Like once upon a time when I left actually working in an office, I worked for Alternate as a sales rep. And I was so happy when I realized South Jordan was literally from South Jordan to Snowbird. I was on that mountain in 35 minutes. He's on ready to go. It is, and so beautiful and so close.
Girl.
So where is it again, Sarah? Jordan?
It's South Jordan, which Mark was asking me all like hard questions and shit about like north, south, east, west. I don't know
I'm
that
looking
kind
it
of
up.
stuff. Like it's not far from Salt Lake, which interestingly enough, there's that's where Leadership Summit's going to be this year. So
Yeah. I was just there on Sunday. I on a layover, but yeah, I was there. I was on a layover in SLC.
the Delta Sky Lounge, since we're Delta girls, I
Yes.
love their Sky Lounge.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're Southwest.
Well, no, I have a Southwest account that I never use that Marquis Minor got to use. Marquis, damn it. Sorry about your trip being canceled, my friend. Shithead.
Forget.
Anytime something bad happens from now on, it's going to be Marquis Minor's fault.
It is.
It
It is.
God damn Marquis.
Minor.
What are you doing again? Look at you.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Love that.
Well, I am super duper excited, and I know you guys have been talking about this, and like even going to the very first tech summit was absolutely amazing. And like I know I'm like late to the party because I was dealing with drama, but
Okay.
it is such a great event. Just I mean, I don't even have again, both of you guys say shit, and I'm just like I don't know what the heck either one of you are talking about. I do, but
You do.
but it was so interesting. The very first one. Wait, that was at the Gaylord, wasn't it? In
Yes.
New Orleans? Wait, not
Yes.
New Orleans, Nashville. Was it
In
Nashville?
Nashville? Yeah, we've always kept it in Nashville. We've just moved it to different areas. But yeah,
And you guys had that FBI guy.
FBI guy. We did.
He instilled the fear of God in me. And I was like, about like security. And then I'm looking around at everybody else. No offense, any dentists or, DSO owners or group practices are listening. And they're all just like, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
Never.
Mhm. Yeah.
What you guys do is really hard to sell because a lot of times when vendors come to me, the things that you want to express to DSOs are numbers. How can your product or service help make us money or save us time? But for you guys, we have fear of loss, or proof of profit, and like fear of loss, like when it's something that you can't see, even though
So
Aspen has experienced it,
hard.
MGM, like all of those, they're still like, I mean, hell, even me.
We
Yes,
just
I use the same damn password for everything. And that person,
just
Marquis, probably
All
has
the
like,
same.
damn it, Marquis.
Yeah.
It's true. You are absolutely right. In fact, our executive team, we just had a meeting on this because we have a client who just went through a ransomware issue because they didn't listen and they didn't upgrade certain hardware that they needed to have, and they got a ransomware. And the idea was that we were able to go in. It happened at 4 a.m. on a Friday morning, and our team, because our team works 24/7, we got the alert and we started working on it immediately. We secured, I think, 5 machines of their 5 systems that had received the ransomware. We cleared them. We put them in, and I'm not going to get all the terminology right, but our team put them in hold, right? So nothing could get in and nothing could get out. We did a complete rebuild from their cloud storage instead of their on-site storage, because their on-site storage could easily have already been infected. So we pulled it from their cloud storage, which is another one for anybody listening. If all you have is a local backup, you may not be as protected as you think you are. Cloud backup is almost a necessity at this point in time. So we were able to take the information from the cloud backup, and our team worked through the entire weekend. So within 72 hours, we had their systems up and running again by Monday morning. And they had, because they were closed on Friday, luckily, they had no loss of business. They had no loss of income. It was just handled. But if we hadn't been there to be able to find it at 4 a.m. in the morning, then they would have been, it would have gone out. It would have gone through their entire system. They wouldn't have been able to save it. They wouldn't have been able to isolate it. I mean, it just, so many things could have happened if we hadn't been there and our systems hadn't been there to find it, to identify it, to isolate it immediately. And it's one of those things. Well, and then post the event, they're like, what are all those things that you said we needed? What are all the, yeah, here's your list. And they're like, okay, check. Here's this price signature. Please go put them in. And unfortunately, that's what happens. It's like, but how do you explain to them what you could have lost? So we ended up putting a report together, what they could have lost. They could have been down 10 days, easy, 10 days plus. They could have been without, it could have cost them up to $300,000. $300,000 in lost revenue and costs it took to get back up and running, all of the things. And God forbid if they had actually exfiltrated data, well, then now you've got HIPAA fines that on top of that luckily none of that happened. Luckily, we were there to be able to manage it, but it's hard to show proof of what didn't happen, as you said. It's very difficult to prove that. And we don't like to be, at Sunset in general, we don't like to be those fear mongers. We don't want to have to walk around telling everybody, you should be afraid of this, you should be afraid of this could happen to you, this could, we want to share the knowledge and experience and that we have without like making everybody afraid of everything. Like we can walk a line, but you're absolutely right. It's difficult to show proof of what didn't happen.
Well, because you're so nice the way you say it, I'll say it for you in my not so nice Sarah way. So look, if you think it can't happen to you, it's probably gonna. So get your shit together, okay? And like call a Sunset or call somebody. Call somebody to make sure that you call Ghostbusters.
There we
If they
go.
can help you, you just, you need to do something. But I love I love so much about Chrissy. And Chrissy, I don't know if this is like the most amazing topic to talk about. Well, it is an amazing topic to talk about. Chrissy has an amazing team, and in order to really like make sure company culture is like, because they're all remote, like to make it at its finest. Chrissy, can you tell them about the office, your virtual office space, and like some of the cool, she does some cool shit for her team. Like they get cats and stuff like that, like in pets, and like it's so
Chrissy,
cool.
But before Chrissy, what state are you in?
I owe 3 people pets actually right now. You reminded me. I am now in Missouri, but not like 2 hours south of St. Louis, but I've been in New York City the last 15 years. So it's still, I pause and I'm like, where am I from now? So
Where am I? Tell me when you do this, because I have a remote team, a fully remote team. I would love to know what you do.
So it's a program called So Work. We were in one before called Kumo Space, but So Work, oh, we just liked a little bit better. But basically, everybody gets their own. Like if you look at your screen, there's like little offices. Everybody has their own little office, but you can walk up and talk to somebody. It has a little like audio circle. So if you're in that person's bubble, you can just walk up and we could talk just like we were in the same office space.
No way. What is that? SOWORK? SOWORK?
Yep. So Work. Yep.
I need to look at this.
So it's fun. We have a meeting floor, and my billing ops person made it all tiki themed. So there's a beach in our meeting floor and a tiki bar, and then all the actual seats for people to sit. So she calls it it's like her office Sims.
Office Sims. I love it. Oh my gosh! Now what's for the animals?
Oh, so you can have pets, and so for their birthdays they get to pick out a So Work pet. And
oh my goodness.
What's the craziest kind of pet somebody has? Is it just all like could I say I want a unicorn, Chrissy?
There is a unicorn in there. The craziest one that somebody just got for her birthday, I did not buy it for her. She conned somebody else on the team to buy it for her, was a Ducati. So not a pet, but she's now got a little Ducati she's cruising around the floor with. So there's a little Ducati. A couple people really liked Men in Black. There was this one you could buy, and these two people would in like black suits would like follow you around. So one of the team members asked for Men in Black, and then the other one asked for Minions. So there was a joke for a while. The two were having like a Men in Black and Minions battle.
That's so fun. Like, what a great, in today's day and age, there's so many people who work remotely. Like, how do you keep them engaged? And like, even for me, I'll meet with my team and then I'm like, okay, see you guys later.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to talk next, but sounds good. So I think that's so fun. And how
I'm definitely going to look this up. Thank you for sharing, Chrissy.
The link. It's fun. Actually, there's a bunch of messages from them right now. So they're supposed to we were supposed to always have tank wars on Fridays at noon, but that's going to stop. So there's actually a game in there where we can hop in a tank and you're on red team or blue team and you run around shooting each other. And
nice.
During lunch on Fridays, we're supposed to have tank wars for 10 or 15 minutes, but I don't think it ever happens anymore.
This is kind of, I think, of a good segue, right, to switch over here. So work, right? That's all we do, right?
Yeah, we do.
Let's talk about playtime. What are we doing? What are we doing for playtime, Chrissy? On the side, hobbies? What do we got?
So I used to dance a lot for a hobby, but since I do not...
Wait a minute. Time out.
Wow.
What kind of dancing?
Mostly swing. So Lindy Hop swing for the most part. Some salsa.
I love you even more now, girl. Oh my gosh. You stole my heart.
When I was in New York, I still coached a dance team and I used to dance like 2 or 3 nights a week, but now it's an hour and a half for me to drive to dance. So I go on the weekends here or there when I can. So but now that I live in the country instead of an apartment building in New York, we are rescuing dogs, and we have 5 dogs now. So I guess that's what I do in my spare time is now rescue dogs. We're up to 5 rescues.
Wait, but how big are they? Because Chrissy likes big dogs. Are they all big dogs?
Well, I don't count my first 2 as big, even though you do. The first one was a pity mix, about 50 pounds. The second is a North Carolina Plothound mix, also about 50 pounds. The last 3 are Great Pyrenees and Collie mixes. So,
oh my goodness!
They're sitting at 80 to 100 pounds. So those are big dogs.
Wow!
Chrissy, I have a Mastiff. She's a big girl.
Oh, we grew up with them. My parents used to show bull mastiffs and travel around the country, and they're good. They're good big dogs. Big, slobbery, good dogs.
The Great Pyrenees, though, beautiful, right?
They're beautiful and very sweet.
I've heard that.
So, Chrissy, when are you going to be giving me a swing dancing lesson?
You're going to be at Dykema? I'll teach you to swing dancing.
Hell yes, I'm going to be at Dykema.
I think we should do an impromptu.
Take a date right now. It's on video.
Yeah.
You are giving me a lesson, and I cannot
Apparently,
freaking wait.
I'm bringing my little speaker and a playlist, and we're gonna have some drinks and have an impromptu dance lesson at Dykema. It's out in the
Yes.
universe now.
Yeah.
You know what? Know what we should do? We should have like a little. We should rehearse something really quick, and then do it on the dance floor at the big reception at Dykema.
Absolutely. Yes. I will be
So
there
if
for
she
that.
if she teaches you swing, are you going to teach her breakdancing?
I will have to put in like a few breakdancing moves.
Oh, there's some
Hey.
sort of dancing in there.
Oh yeah,
Good.
back in the day.
Good.
I sent Mark the funniest. I know I wasn't the only one, but I sent him this reel I saw off Instagram, and it was like this guy like spraying a little bug, and it was like typical like 80s breakdance music. And when you look at the bug, it was like a fly on his back, like spinning around, and it was the most. It was like to the music, it was so perfect. And
Oh,
then
it was hysterical.
even at the end, it was like that little like bing. Beep, beanie me, and like his little like he was like on the verge of death, but his little like thing was like beep beep beady dee. Like it was. I was like, I've got to send this to Mark. He's like, get in line. You're not the only person that sent this to me.
But again, the only other person that sent to me was my old crew member. So that's like, that's big time. That's big time.
There you go. Yes.
Michelle, what do we got on your end? What do we got for fun these days?
Well, I would love to say that I was also dancing, but it has been a hot minute since I was dancing. I was actually classically trained. I was a classical dancer.
Oh.
Yep, point shoes, the whole 9 yards. That was me. But then, I got old, and it's just what we do. my body does not react the way I want it to react these days. I did swing for a little while, Chrissy. After that, when I was working at Disney in my 20s, it was about 5 to 10 years, probably about 5 years after I stopped classically dancing. And I was just jonesing. So I did swing there at Disney for a while. It was the best. I absolutely loved it. But again, it's been a hot minute since then. So I don't do that anymore. Now my spare time, whenever I am home and the weather is nice, is I am on my boat. My husband and I, we have a small 21-foot deck boat. So he has been in the marine industry for his entire life. Actually, he worked at Sea Ray for a number of 27 years or something like that, and he's now working at Everglades here in Edgewater in Florida.
Oh, wow.
So been in boat manufacturing his entire life.
Oh,
so
cool.
And during COVID, we actually got our boat. So we have a 21-foot Hurricane, and he loves to just sit there and drive it through the ICW. And I sit on the front of the boat. I control the music and I control the cooler, and that's it. That's my job. Like I make sure we all have drinks. I make sure the music and the drinks are flowing, and he makes sure he keeps us, between the buoys. So that's where I spend my day.
That's so funny. So back once upon a time when I was 21 years old, Michelle. So what is that? 25 years ago now. We'll date myself.
Right. Yes, I'm with you.
I moved to Orlando because I wanted to leave the Midwest. And I taught at Atlantic Dance Hall for Disney.
That's where I was swinging.
Stop it.
So,
okay, hold on. Were we there at the same time? Okay, I'm gonna go out on a ledge. I'm gonna say
1 to like 2003.
Okay. No.
Wait a minute. Atlantic Dance Hall right on the boardwalk?
Boardwalk. Yeah.
Boardwalk.
They used to do swing night like when it was really popular, like 5 nights a week, like 2 nights salsa, and then they mixed it up a little bit more. But there was always like at least 2 swing nights there.
Yes, I was there in 97, 90, 98, probably 97, 98 was about the time that I was hanging out there doing the swing. But it was at Atlantic Dance Hall. You were right. It was. That is so funny. See, we were meant. We were meant to be.
I have a story about the dance hall as well. The night before my Disney wedding number 1, because I'm really good at being married. That's where we went for like our a joint bachelorette party, and that was the first time anybody had ever asked me if I wanted a single or a double, and I was like, I'll have a double. So I have a lot of memories of the bathroom. I have a lot of memories outside actually, as we were driving our little golf cart away, my then fiance was like passed out in the bushes. So I have very fond memories of that portion of the boardwalk.
You must have had a couple doubles too then.
Oh, he had, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't. My best friend works in the medical industry. Her mom had to call me in like that medication that you take when you're pregnant for nausea,
Oh
because
yeah.
if not, I would not have been ready to able to walk down that aisle. Which maybe that was like
In
a
hindsight,
sign.
well, then
I
you
don't
both
know.
will remember the dueling piano bar.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that, absolutely.
Jelly rolls. It's
Jelly
still
roll.
there.
Jelly rolls, yeah.
it's there.
I have, yeah, no, well, Jelly Rolls just closed down this year. They
Oh.
closed down this year.
Wow.
Sadly enough, but I've been there since when it started. I was 21 when we started going there, and it was just in October of 24. My son turned 21, and we took him for his birthday.
Wow.
So he'd grown up hearing because we always went. Whether it was for a birthday or just to get together or whatever, we always ended up, we would stay on property and we would go over to Jelly Rolls and we would stumble home from wherever we were, however we got back to the hotel. And my children grew up remembering me going there, and I would bring them back videos or whatever. So my son got to enjoy it before they closed it down. So yeah, it was so much fun.
Well, those were also Pleasure Island days, like downtown Disney Springs or whatever. Like get that out of here. Bring me back my mannequins. Bring me back the Rock and Roll Beach Club. Bring me back 8-tracks. I want all of them.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All of them.
Yes, I loved it. So much fun. And PI, when I was working at Disney, Tuesdays were cast member night. So we got to get in for free and we got drinks half price.
Oh.
So Tuesday night at PI was lit, let me tell you. And let me tell you, anybody that had to work Wednesday morning was doing it in pain. Because, back in those days, you could go out and drink all night and sleep for 2 hours and get up for work in the morning. I can't do that these days, but I could back then.
Yeah, no, now we have 2 drinks, so we need to recuperate the entire next day.
Right. Absolutely. My husband and I just came back from Vegas, which is why we were held over at SLC. We went to go see Kenny Chesney. We're huge Kenny Chesney fans.
Oh.
So we went to go see him at the Sphere. And when I go see Kenny, like, I am front row. I queue for 3 hours waiting in line. I am at the stage. I have pictures of me touching the man, like, oh, my husband's
You hate him. You hate Kenny.
Oh. And so we went to go see Kenny at the Sphere, and we queued up and we stood the whole time and we did it, and we walked back to our room. We stayed there right nearby. We stayed at the Venetian, but it was still a heck of a walk. And the plan was to drop all of our stuff and go to see the 1920 Prohibition Bar and go to the Ice Bar and do all of these things. Yeah, that didn't happen. We got back to our room and I went, you know what? I could really use a couple of Tylenols and bed. Like, that was what happened. I am that old now. I went to the concert and I came back and I took 2 Tylenol and went to bed.
Struggle is real. Definitely real.
Well, it's like our conferences in the dental space. And I know we started a little bit later, so maybe we can go a little bit later if you guys are okay with that. Nothing good happens after 10 p.m. And nobody believes me. I know Mark gets his little panties in a wad every time. He's like, we're going out. And I'm like, you're going out. I'm going to bed.
Listen, I'm definitely going to get you out one of these times. I don't care. I don't care what it's going to take. I'm getting you out.
Sarah up. It was like the first weekend I met her like in person. I had like talked to her online before or whatever. It was Yankee Dental. And I went out with people who should not be named to Lucky Lounge when I had to do a workshop the next day. And needless to say, I was not hungover, but I lost my voice trying to talk to everybody at Lucky Lounge. And literally, like, my team stuck me in a corner at our booth and like gave me tea and lemon. We're like, don't talk to anybody. You just save your voice until you have to give your workshop. And so Sarah has. I should have done Sarah that night. I should have done what Sarah does.
Yeah, I do the
Irish sneaky. She's sneaky. She'll bail out at the right time when people have had a few drinks, things are getting going.
Oh,
we're going to do one of those things to attach us, like what those little kids have, like when the parents hold on to them.
Yeah, we're going to leash it.
But we're going to be attached at the hip, literally at the hip. So you're not leaving. So.
I have perfected the Irish goodbye like it's nobody's business.
Ding, ding,
It
ding.
is the best.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan myself.
Yep. Yeah. It's so funny too, because Patrick, our CEO, he is what I call an introvert. He's an extrovert, introvert, whatever it is. He's totally an introvert, but when I put him on stage, he's great. Like, he is fantastic and he can be on stage, but he needs that downtime, right? So we'll go to a conference and we'll do the reception or the whatever it is, and he'll do his thing and he'll come up to me and he'll go, okay, can I go now? So-and-so, did you see so-and-so? Did you talk to this person? Did you see this person? And did you see this person? And he's like, no.
Hysterical.
And I'm like, well, then we'll have to go. We need to go see these people before you can go home. And he's like, okay, fine.
Kind of reminds me of, I believe in a lot of things in regards to, I'm a Taurus. So I believe, a lot of that kind of stuff. And so my Instagram feed is like all about that. And so it was a video of this little girl, a Taurus, and her mom was like, did you have fun at the party? And she's like, mm-hmm. She's like, what was your favorite part? And she goes, leaving. I was like, I get that.
I feel that.
It's so, we have to talk to so many people. I think that's one of the reasons why, like Dykema, I mean, this is like a marathon. Everybody knows you have to like prep for that. But like the smaller ones are just so nice, because then you don't feel so stressed. Like, I really want to talk to that person. Am I going to be able to come back to them? But like with the smaller ones, it's so much better. So I like the feel of the intimate ones for sure. So I'm excited.
I just wish that I could go to Optimize. I wish I could go. I want to go there. I want to support it, even though they're not my people. I know it's going to be a great event, and
I thought about coming to Nashville Wednesday and then coming back to St. Louis Thursday, but my team would probably kill me if I did that. But it did cross my mind. I'm like, I could just go hop into Michelle tonight.
Actually, you know what you guys should do? We should do like a live. Like, I don't even know, even if it's just like a cute little video of where like in like the room with everybody, and like maybe even like the welcome reception or whatever, and like do like a video hello to like each group of people. I don't know.
That'd be so much fun.
I don't know. You know what, Chrissy, we do that on Thursday, because you guys have a Thursday event, don't you?
Yeah, we have our rooftop, and you guys are going to be
there. We should do that.
We are going out after our rooftop event, but not late. I think it ends at 10, I think. Sarah.
Okay.
Well, there's only an hour, I think, between the two places, so we need to work this. I think this is something we need to do.
Yeah, we're doing, that was some of the things that I was like, you know what, everybody gets these, and it's like, where are you going? What are you doing? And I said, we have an unofficial after party for Thursday. So we picked like a St. Louis like staple that has blues, a microbrewery, and Cajun food. And I'm like, we're going to be here in the beer garden. If you want to come here, this is where people will guarantee to be. If you all want to take a cab somewhere else, great too. But like, we're going to give you an option if you don't want to go search out your own adventure.
Nice. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Well, I want to make sure I say something really fast, because I know we didn't talk about it earlier, but I'm sorry, my dog he wanted to say something. Sorry. I want to make sure that we kind of call out, yes, we are definitely between DSO Tech Summit and Optimized Playbook. We are definitely cross-marketing it. But the great thing about it is that on each one of our registration pages, you can register for the other show. It's a bundle. It's fantastic. You only have to register at one place, and then we'll do the work on the back end. So you register at one place and you get 2 tickets, one for each show. You can send your finance and ops people to Optimize. You can send your tech people and in other words to DSO Tech Summit, but you register at either one of the sites and you have a ticket for each one. So I definitely want to make sure.
I'm glad you remembered to say that, because I forgot.
I know. Like, wait, well, I forgot to ask, and I'm like, and I know that. So thank you, Michelle. I love how, because each team, and it's funny, I actually reached out to a DSO the other day and I was like, hey, there's these 2 events going on and you guys have 2 totally separate people that do these things. And so like, I think a lot of people, and two, something I wanted to say, most of the time, one of the number one questions people ask me when they meet me or understand what it is that we do, they're like, what events do you recommend that we go to? And so I know that there are some websites that list like a handful, but not all of them. And so I think it's really great that you guys are working together to cross promote, because somebody who goes to Tech Summit might not know about Optimize and vice versa. So I think that's great. You guys are great. If there's do you want to let people know how to get a hold of you and find your adorable little selves? Chrissy, people want to hit you up, slide in your DMs. Where do you want them to go?
So for the dental playbook, you can just go to theoptimizedpractice.com, and everything about the playbook is there. The registration, the co-branded registration with Tech Summit is all there. If you ever have any question about insurance revenue cycle, any capacity, you can just email me, which is my first initial C.Bridgman, my last name, at modpractice.com. And I will try to help anybody to the best of my ability that I can, whether you're a client or not. Just, I want to help people and help deliver better experiences to patients. So either way.
Mod is MOD, like
MOD.
Mod Squad, MOD. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Michelle,
for Sunset, you can reach me at my email. It's my full name, michelle.hambidge@sunsetsecure.com. You can, just like with Mod Practice, with Optimize, you can get all the information at dsotechnologysummit.com. dsotechnologysummit.com. All the information is there. Again, same thing with Chrissy. All of our co-branded information is on there. You can get information on tickets. You can get information, and we have links to the Optimize on that as well. But all of our information is there. And of course, you can find me on LinkedIn. Those of you who don't, you can always DM me there.
well, and both events have LinkedIn, and we'll put all of this in like our recap for everybody so that they can see. But both have LinkedIn pages as well, so you can like kind of follow along for updates. And
yeah,
I can't wait.
I know it's going to be fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
I'm just thrilled that we got the opportunity. But you know what, Sarah? You're the one who gave us this idea. I didn't know that Optimized Playbook was a thing this year. It was brand new, and I love that it is, and I love that you brought it to us. And I'm so thankful that Chrissy was, open to us doing this. We've tried to do this at a couple other times, and it just didn't seem to work out. But it was just the right people with the right time. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and same thing, and thank you, because we're like picking at dates, and I'm like, there's nothing on this date yet. And then a week later, I was like, Dental Tech Summit's on the same date. So it
is okay.
It all works out.
Yep, absolutely. And thank you guys, Mark and Bubbles. This is great. Boston and Bubbles. I love it. This is such a great and fun event. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being on the show. Can't wait to see you guys. I'm looking forward to my swing dancing lesson and routine that we're going to put together, Chrissy.
Yeah.
That should be very interesting. And Bubbles, love you, my dear. And I can't wait to see you guys.
It's going to be great. You guys take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.